Hello, my loves. Welcome back to another episode of the It Girl Mindset. I'm so excited to get into today's episode because I think it's something that a lot of us have really struggled with. If you have a past of dieting and negative body image and everything like that, honestly, what I'm going to talk about today brings me back to that Kayla Itsines workout. I don't know if you know who that is. I think she's still like a big kind of like fitness trainer. But I remember somebody sent me that when I was in college. Oh my God, those workouts are so insanely hard. And my body never really changed from it. But anyways, what we're going to talk about today is something that a client brought up to me. And I think it's really going to resonate with you. And it's all about if you're not working hard, it doesn't count. And I had this perception for a long time when it came to losing weight or having my dream body. Welcome to the It Girl Mindset, where I help you step into the next level version of yourself by mastering your mindset, manifesting your deepest desires, and connecting deeply with your body. It's about becoming the most authentic, radiant, unapologetic, and unbothered version of yourself. Together, we're going to chat about how to unlock your true potential and create a life that feels as good as it looks. If you're ready to become the healthiest, hottest, and most abundant version of yourself, you're in the perfect place. Let's get into it. I thought it had to be miserable. I thought my workouts had to be so intense, like Kayla Itsines or whatever her name is. I thought I had to be doing HIIT workouts every day, Orange Theory at 4 a.m. Like, I thought the food I ate had to be boring. I thought I had to be hungry to see progress. Like, I thought that in order to have my dream body, I had to be miserable, pretty much. And if I wasn't working hard, then it wouldn't actually count. And this came up with my one-to-one client because she told me, she's like, I feel like I'm not doing enough. I feel like, I'm not like aligning with who I want to be. And I was like, okay, let's kind of like dive deep into what you're currently doing and see where we can tweak some things. And she told me she's going on a walk every single day. She told me she's eating 3 nutritious meals. She's, dealing with her emotions, working on her mindset. She's doing all these things. And I was like, what about that makes you feel like you're not making progress? And she said it's because it's been easy. And I know that this is something that a lot of women struggle with, where, again, based on maybe what diet culture has taught you, or even social media in general, where it's like you have to work so hard, okay? And I'm speaking from personal experience because I also had this belief for a long time. And I just want to quote, this is a limiting belief, okay? You don't have to work that intensely to have your dream body, okay? It gets to be easy if you're in alignment, okay? Which is what we're going to talk about today. But even as a kid, I just had ingrained in my brain, no pain, no gain. Like that, I literally used to tell my friends I wanted to get that tattooed on me. Like, oh my God, like I'm all for getting outside of your comfort zone, but and growing and learning, like that's very, very important. But for me, even just like moving my body, working out, that's all easy. Eating healthy, so fucking easy for me because it's in alignment with who I believe that I am, okay? So this limiting belief is just that. It's limiting. It's actually not real, okay? Because when you shift yourself at an identity level, things feel easy. Your habits feel easy, or whatever it is that goes along with that identity. I always like to bring up this example of when I went vegan and I lost 20 pounds. Again, I have to say this every single time, but do not go vegan for weight loss, okay? This is not the point of this conversation. Okay, in the past, I had tried a million diets. I tried Weight Watchers, keto, intermittent fasting, whatever it may be. I tried it all, okay? And I was 20 pounds overweight. I was really uncomfortable in my body. I tried a million diets and I would kind of go through this cycle of all on and like going super, super hard. And then I would fall off and blame myself and self-sabotage. And it would be this constant loop. I read a book that convinced me to be vegan. And in the book, it also touched on mindset and how you kind of need to suck it up and just embody this identity because that's just kind of who you are. And I took that to heart and I was like, okay, you know what? I'm going to be vegan. And I made it my whole fucking personality, okay? Like everyone knew I was vegan and I was getting a lot of results from it, but it wasn't about the diet. It was about who I thought I was. I knew that I wanted to lose weight, but I wasn't focusing on that. I was focusing on being vegan, which vegans eat a lot of plants. And so I was eating mainly plants, which I definitely was eating not enough food, but I didn't really realize it at that time. And when I was going through this, like, it was easy for me. Being vegan was easy. Eating a ton of vegetables was easy because it was part of my identity. It wasn't like, oh, I have to force myself not to eat meat today. I have to like eat all these plants. Like, I was so excited. I was like, no, I'm a vegan and this is what vegans do. We eat lots of plants and nuts and legumes and whatever it may be. And I was like having so much fun looking up vegan recipes and like I bought this vegan cookbook and all these things. Like, but it was so easy for me to lose 20 pounds because I shifted at an identity level. Okay? Is this making sense? Because again, it gets to feel easy when you're in alignment. And to get into alignment, you need to shift at an identity level into whatever it may be. Okay? If weight loss is a goal, or even just creating healthy habits is a goal, you need to shift into alignment, which means you need to shift into a new identity, whatever it may be. Okay? And that's what kind of ties back into this. If it's easy, it means it's not working. And I hear this a lot with clients where if they go to the gym and they didn't get a hard workout in, they feel like it didn't count. Or if they're not sore for 3 days after, they feel like that workout didn't count. If the food they're eating is enjoyable, they feel like they're not eating healthy. When in reality, if it's easy, that means you're living in alignment. And that's what we want, right? We don't want our body journey, our body image journey, our healing journey to be hard. Yeah, there's going to be some tough moments and other deep healing things that we got to go through, but it shouldn't be miserable. And that's why I always say, if your body image and body healing journey is miserable, you're doing it wrong. Being healthy gets to be fun. Healing your relationship with your body gets to be easy because you get to decide. You get to decide your perspective. And again, the easiest way to make things easy and get into alignment is shifting at an identity level, truly shifting those limiting beliefs and shifting who you believe that you are and aligning your self-image, okay, with your subconscious mind. So we have a conscious mind and we have a subconscious mind. I kind of talked about this a little bit in our last podcast episode, but conscious mind is the logical, the reasoning, the decision making, whereas your subconscious mind is these automatic behaviors that are kind of like working in the background of your brain. Example, breathing. You don't have to think about breathing, right? You just kind of do it. Brushing your teeth. I hope this is a subconscious program running in the back where you wake up, you brush your teeth, okay? You don't really have to think about it anymore, but when you were younger, you probably had your parents force you to brush your teeth for, I don't even know how long, a couple years at first. And maybe you didn't like it, but now it's just easy. It's just something that's part of who you are and something that you do. And that's the same thing with subconscious programs, okay? We have all these beliefs that we don't even know are going on in the back of our brains. And we get these beliefs it could be from past lives, it could be from generations, because trauma is actually stored in the body for up to 7 generations, okay? But a lot of these come from our childhood, ages 0 to 7, when we only had a subconscious mind. Between the ages of 0 to 7, you didn't have the conscious mind to be like, oh, you know what? I don't agree with that, okay? You took everything at face value, you took everything for what it was. So that's why when even from 0, from the day you are born, I've had clients clear something from the day that they were born. I've had clients also clear past lives. So not to get too woo-woo, but I've also cleared past life clearings and past generation clearings okay. But with these beliefs, when they're ingrained in you, you don't even know that they're happening a lot of times. So with generational, a lot of times it's just kind of using subconscious reprogramming to go back and be like, okay, this is actually not my belief. This is not my fear. And then from the age of 0 to 7, what I do with my clients is we go back and we find the root cause of that belief, okay? If it is, I have to work hard to have the body that I want, or it could be even more general than that. Like, you have to work hard to get what you want, okay? And that's where this kind of comes into play. Is like, we have to go back to the root cause and figure out, where did that come from? It could have, and I always like to say this too, because a lot of times it's so easy to be like, oh, like, why did my parents do that to me? But we all experience trauma and big T or little T trauma differently, okay? Trauma is not what happened, it's how you experienced the event. So if we go back to maybe the root cause of when, you believed that you had to work hard to get what you wanted, maybe your parents worked really, really, really hard. And they, even if you were 1 year old and you heard them talking about how, maybe your mom was talking to your dad or your dad was talking to your mom, you need to work harder because we're XYZ or something like that, okay? Again, that sticks in your brain because you only have a subconscious mind. And that is what we do in my one-to-one coaching program. Is we go back to the root cause, figure out what it was, and we change it. We clear that limiting belief, and within 10 minutes, you can completely erase that and you will show up differently, okay? So with this limiting belief of I have to work hard to get what I want, that's what we would do. We would use subconscious reprogramming, and that belief would no longer exist in your brain, and you could show up in the way that you wanted to. Subconscious reprogramming has drastically changed my life in so many ways. Like, I will have a clearing of something, and even when I first started doing subconscious reprogramming, I was struggling to show up online and just like talk on my stories and stuff like that. I was having all this imposter syndrome, and I wasn't talking about my one-to-one clients and sharing their wins and everything. Like, I wasn't just showing up as a confident version, a confident business owner. I can't even remember what we cleared, but long story short, I probably cleared like the fear of judgment, or the fear of, it was the fear of losing my family. And again, sometimes with subconscious beliefs, you don't understand why. Like, consciously, you'd be like, I know I'm not going to lose my family if I'm super, super successful and showing up online. But again, your brain is always trying to keep you safe. So if there's even like a small, teeny, tiny part of your subconscious mind that is like, oh, if I am successful, I'm going to lose my family. Do you think you're actually going to take the action to show up? No, you're going to continue to self-sabotage over and over and over again. And this is why you don't need more discipline. You need to get to the root cause of what is actually stopping you from getting you to where you want to go. And that's where all these beliefs come in. We have so many limiting beliefs, okay? I'm constantly clearing limiting beliefs. I cleared a belief today. I cleared a limiting belief today. It was the fear of judgment. I'm not even going to go into it. That's a whole podcast episode in itself, and I also talked about how I cleared the fear of rejection. And okay, it's not like I clear the fear of rejection and then I'm never going to feel rejected again and I'm fearless, but there are layers to this. And the more you peel back the layers, the deeper you go and the less you will ever feel those things, okay? But I see instant results from subconscious reprogramming. So when a client comes to me and has this belief of I have to work hard to get what I want, we go ahead and clear it, and she shows up differently. She takes action differently. She believes differently, and she feels differently, which is most important. So if you are one of those people, and again, there's no shame. We have all been there. Me, myself, with that Kayla Itsins, I literally thought I had to kill myself in the gym to be able to have the body that I wanted when I was really just stressing the shit out of my body out. Did I even say that right? Stressing the shit out of my body? Yeah, there we go. So again, that's a limiting belief. You get to rewire that and show up differently, okay? If you want to heal your limiting beliefs and get to the root cause of what's actually holding you back from healing your body from the inside out and feeling absolute safety and confidence in your body, I've left the Mind Body Method application below. So go ahead and check that out and message me on Instagram if you have any questions. If your healthy habits are starting to feel easy, that is a good thing. That means you're in alignment and you've shifted at an identity level, okay? Because for me, college, healthy habits felt fucking exhausting. I didn't want to go to the gym. I hated it. Eating healthy was so hard. I struggled with binge eating. I had bulimia. There were so many things going on. Now, I have shifted at an identity level, and eating healthy is super easy. I love going to the grocery store. I am now embodied in a healthy girl, as I'm sure you know if you've followed me for a long time. I have a crazy transformation because I shifted at an identity level. So, if you're struggling with this, reach out to me, okay? I want to help talk you through this because, again, we all have these beliefs that are just running like programs in the back of our mind that are causing us to take action or not, or constantly self-sabotage, okay? These beliefs shape your outcome because they affect how you show up and what you believe about yourself, okay? Ease is a good thing, okay? So stop fighting yourself on that. Okay, you guys, that wraps up this episode. I really just felt called to touch on this topic because it was coming up for my clients a lot. So I hope this episode was helpful. If you have any questions, go ahead and shoot me a DM on Instagram. And I'd also love to hear your biggest takeaway. So if you want to post on your story what your biggest takeaway was, tag me at Ashley Robutz, AShleyRobutz. I'd absolutely love to hear from you. Thank you so much for being here, and I will catch you in the next episode, my love.